Man, wow, what a fight, man. Wow, man. This was a hell of a fight, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a hell of a fight. This is a knockout, drag out fight, man. Both fighters, gave it their all, man. And wow, man, what a welterweight performance, man. Both fighters, did awesome, man. I really truly feel like, both fighters showed that they had heart and courage. And but look, now we're gonna see, man. We're gonna finally see now what these guys are made of, man. Both fighters gave it their all. I feel like Shawn Porter started early. You gotta understand Shawn Porter is an early starter. Especially in this type of fight, man. I really feel like him going over there to, ESPN and fighting him over there on the ESPN side. I really truly feel that he had to show a little bit more, and Shawn Porter was going into this fight as the opponent, not the champion. So you got to show a little bit more, and I feel like he did that in the early rounds. I feel like Shawn Porter definitely did that in the early rounds. He showed, that he was definitely on that top level, man. Expert Genius was happening. Smash that like button, you guys. You already know Expert Genius is up late night with the kid, man. But Chad, man, it was a really good fight, man. And in the early rounds, Shawn Porter got the early rounds. Even Andre Ward said that. But as the fight picked up, as we knew it would, as we knew it would, you know, Terence Crawford adjusted, and the great ones do. There's a reason why I picked Terence Crawford by eighth round stoppage. There's a reason why that. You know what I mean? There's a reason why I thought that Shawn Porter was gonna get iced. Okay, you know, and when you look at the fight, when you look at this fight, you guys, you got to look at the body language of Shawn Porter. He was putting out so much energy and so much, determination in those early rounds. I really truly feel like he started gassing out in the eighth, ninth, and 10th round, man. I really truly feel like that. That's what I seen with my own two eyes. Like I said, I don't know what you guys seen in there, man, but with my own two eyes, I seen Shawn Porter slowing up in the eighth round, definitely slowing up a little bit more in the ninth round, and eventually getting dropped twice in the 10th round. And pretty much Kenny Porter said, his reflexes are slowing down, and Kenny Porter thought it was only right that he stop his son and from getting more punished, man. I really truly feel like Terence Crawford was gonna start picking him apart and probably, you know, dare I say, shorten Shawn Porter's boxing career. That's how easy and that's how crisp and short some of those punches were, right on the button of Shawn Porter in that 10th round. You guys gotta understand that, man. Expert Genius says I had it 5-4 Bud before the stoppage, but he was the last 3 rounds to take the lead against Porter. Yeah, and it was only going to get worse. It was only going to get worse. Okay, he was going to knock him down more in the 11th. He was going to, but I really truly feel like Shawn Porter's heart and determination, I really feel like could have got him through that fight. But Shawn Porter's dad is pretty much like, why put my son through that? Why put my son through, pretty much, getting, beat the hell up just for a couple more rounds, man. He was gonna lose the fight anyways in my eyes. Now maybe he could have caught, Terence Crawford, because I really truly feel like he buzzed Terence Crawford in this fight, and he caught his attention. Dare I say, hurt Terence Crawford. But like Terence Crawford does, he recovered in the early rounds, and then he came back, and he came back with a vengeance, man. He came back thunderous, and there's only but so many wars you can be in, man. Shawn Porter has been in so many wars. And moving forward, man, Shawn Porter's dad, Kenny Porter, pretty much said in the post-fight interview that we live right across the street from each other, and I'll be having breakfast with my son. Shout out to Edgar. Smash that like button, man. Yo, my boy Corey stays grinding. What state do you reside in, man? Great fight. Bud is on another level. I'm in the DMV, my brother. Smash that like button, y'all. But yeah, man, I really truly feel like right now, man, you know, Terence Crawford needs to fight. We need to see the fight, man. We gotta see the fight now, man. It's only right. It's only right that we see it. It's only right that we see the Earl Spence versus Terence Crawford fight, man. This only right, man. Us as boxing fans, we've been seeing this whole saga play out like the fucking soap operas, and I really feel like, man, enough's enough, man. We need to see the best fight the best, and we need to promote that shit, man. You know. Expert Genius says, I hope Porter rethinks retiring. Still can't believe he retired. You got to understand, man, in those later rounds, Shawn Porter was getting touched up. But he was looking good in the early rounds, but this is not a 6-round fight. This is a 12-round fight. And literally, it was literally like a clock or Terence Crawford it was the game plan to let him have some of those early rounds. Maybe that was the game plan. Let Shawn Porter start off, hot and ready, and just let him fade late. And that's exactly what happened, man. That's exactly what happened. I really truly feel like Shawn Porter blew out his gas tank towards the end of this fight, man. And it was just one of those things, man. Like, wow, man, what a awesome fight. But you gotta understand, both fighters, you know, should be commended. But there could only be one winner. There can only be one winner, and that's that's Terence Crawford, and Shawn Porter retired. Or should I say, Kenny Porter. Kenny Porter. I'm not gonna say Kenny Porter retired him, but he definitely threw in the towel. He definitely pretty much said, no mas, my son's not taking any more damage. This fight is over, and then that's how they went from there, man. But you know, it was one of those things, man. It was like, wow, man. This guy got stopped, and it was just like, wow, man. He got stopped viciously twice. He got knocked down twice in the 10th round, and it was like, where does he go from here? Shawn Porter, we know where Shawn Porter's going. He's retiring. And I don't think Kenny Porter's joking about that. I don't think either one of those guys are joking. They might come out of retirement for a bag, but I really think that they're going to stay true. And I knew that the end was near for Shawn Porter. Win, lose, or draw in this fight. I really did, man. I really think that they might have retired even if he won the fight. You know what I mean? Like that's how Kenny Porter, I'm not going to say if he won the fight, maybe one more fight. But wins enough, man. You've already won titles at welterweight. There's no more you can do at welterweight but avenge the losses that you took. And do you guys really think with that performance that if Shawn Porter, would have won fading late like that, which that would have been, I mean, how could he have won? Knocking out Terence Crawford? I just didn't see that happening, man. I really just didn't see that happening, man. I just didn't see Shawn Porter knocking out Terence Crawford. The more and more I thought about it, I just didn't see it happening. Expert Genius in the chat, smash that like button. You guys get these likes up, man. He says, Crawford did Porter like Mayweather did McGregor. Let them gas themselves out. Wow. Very good statement, Expert Genius. Very good statement, man. And that's exactly what happened, man. I really, truly believe that Shawn Porter gassed himself out, man. I mean, you're literally mashing on the gas the first 6 rounds. I mean, you're literally, and he hurt Terence Crawford. To his credit, he hurt Terence Crawford. But moving forward, that's not gonna work for that long, man. I'm sorry. That's not gonna work for that long. Smash that like button, y'all. Edgar, he says Porter has nothing to prove. It ain't about retiring with an unblemished record. It's more impressive when you look at a resume and you fought all the best fighters. Porter will be missed inside the ring. That's a true fact, man. And I really, really like that Edgar, and shout out to Edgar in the chat, man. I really like the way he said that, man, because Shawn Porter will be missed. He's a very talented fighter, with tons and tons and tons of battles under his resume. I mean, the guy had over 300 amateur fights. I mean, come on, man. You got, what, 40 professional fights. I mean, they say the guy's eyebrows look like just cuts on both sides of his eyebrows. So Andre Ward said he got cut 11 times on the right side of his eye in the fight. So that shows you right there that there's scar tissue there, and that, that scar tissue is not going away. And, there was cuts. Fighters got cut. It looked like Terence Crawford in the post-fight while Shawn Porter was talking, was mainly talking about that cut. Terence Crawford does not like to get touched. Terence Crawford does not like to get buzzed. Terence Crawford likes to have an upper hand in pretty much all of his fights. And that's pretty much all of his fights he's done, had the upper hand. And all of his fights, he's done good. In all of his fights, he showed why he's one of the best fighters pound for pound in the world right now, man. You guys got to understand, man. A lot of these fighters out here, they're sometime athletes, meaning that, they train when it's a fight coming up. They train, when, like I said, when there's a fight coming up. Terence Crawford trains year round. And, that showed. That showed. And I'm not saying Shawn Porter doesn't. I'm not saying Shawn Porter, because to be honest with you, Shawn Porter is one of those guys that is very active in the gym, But some will say, did he, did all of that, that podcast and then, all of the stuff that he did leading up to this fight, did that hinder him maybe in this fight? But you can't, I really feel like you can't, put all of that on that, because you got to understand, Shawn Porter looked good in the early rounds. Shawn Porter looked really good in the early rounds, man. And I really thought that Shawn Porter was going to do well. But the more you watch the fight, the more that you watch the fight, the more that you seen Terence Crawford starting to come on. Terence Crawford starting to pick his shots a lot better. Terence Crawford coming in forward, a lot more, and his presence being more dominant in the later rounds. I say in about 7, 8, and 9. That's when Terence Crawford started implementing his game plan, and that's when Terence Crawford, was pushing on the gas a lot more than he was in the first 6 rounds. And look, he says the guy beat Usyk and had a fight with Andre as an amateur. Porter is a Hall of Famer and a throwback fighter. Salute to him. Yeah, he is, man. Yeah, he is. He really is, man. And, kudos to him, man. I really think that he's a really good fighter. Kudos to him. But moving forward, we do need to see the Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. Errol Spence was at the fight. If you guys didn't hear what Errol Spence said, we can go ahead and replay that back for you guys real quick. Let's see what Errol Spence says about this. Let's see. I'm willing to. I really want to know what Errol Spence said about this. Why not, right? Why not? Shout out to LA Setback, man. LA Setback's working hard out here in these streets.
Why? What would you have done if
He
you
said,
were
look.
Earl, what did you think?
It was a good fight. I thought his daddy stopped too early, though.
Why? What would you have done if you were in there? Continue going?
Errol Spence said it was a good fight, but he still thinks that Kenny stopped it too early.
Warrior, let him fight. He wore that Marvin Hagler shit. Let him fight.
He said he wore that Marvin Hagler shit. Let him fight. That's what Errol Spence said. He said he wore that Marvin Hagler shit. Let him fight.
So, okay, so right now, Earl, big chances of you and Crawford. I'm excited. I hope it happens.
Yeah.
Do you think it was going to happen?
It might.
He said it might. We'll see. Wow, I mean, what's up with that, man? What's up with that? He said it might. We'll see. That's what Earl Spence said when asked to fight Terence Crawford.
I hope it happens. What would you have done if you were in there? Continue.
Listen.
He a warrior. Let him fight. He wore shit, let him fight.
So, okay, so right now, Earl, big chances of you and Crawford. I'm excited. I hope it happens.
Yeah.
Do you think it was gonna happen?
It might. We'll see.
When Earl Spence asked, will Terence Crawford versus Earl Spence happen? He said, we'll see. It might. I mean, like, what the fuck, man? Like, yo, we want to see this fight, dude. Step the fuck up and fight Terence Crawford, Earl Spence. Come on, man. I mean, you fought Danny, you fought all the guys, Shawn Porter, okay. Fight this motherfucking dog. Terence Crawford's the real deal, man. Terence Crawford's the real motherfucking Holyfield. You know what I'm saying? He's the real deal. You know? Pound for pound, dare I say Terence Crawford's better than Holyfield. Pound for pound, man. There's levels to this shit. Terence Crawford's at the top. The expert genius says 7, 8, and 9 are the rounds when Bud looked he says when Bud took the lead against Porter. And that you know that could have happened. That's very well what could have happened, man. You know. When Earl Spence was asked in the post-fight interview, shout out to Ellie Setback, he says the fans want to see Earl Spence versus Terence Crawford. Will we see it? You know, will the fans see Terence Crawford versus Earl Spence? Earl Spence said, we'll see. That's the best he could say. Samuel in the chat, he says, I agree. Yeah, I mean, Porter definitely started looking bad. But, Shawn Porter was winning some of the rounds like we all thought. And after that, he got iced, man.
Where do you want to go? Parking is over there.
I'm trying to give me a damn.
You know?
And say, hey, I got it. Listen, how come every time I interview you, you attract...
Earl Spence. Earl Spence, man. We got to see it, y'all. We got to see it, man. This motherfucker, Earl Spence, got a big-ass bodyguard with his ass, dude. No cap. Texas boys. He said, yo, where can we get a ride at? They got SUVs in? That's crazy. Smash that like button, y'all. Earl Spence says, and I'll say it again. Listen, this is what Earl Spence said. This is what Earl Spence said, y'all.
So right now, Earl, big chances of you and Crawford. I'm excited. I hope it happens. Do you think it was gonna happen?
It might. We'll see.
We played blackjack or what?
He said it might, we'll see. He said it might, we'll see. Expert Genius says, I didn't like how it made a beeline to the exits. Not a good look. He also asked Spence if he had anything to say to Crawford, and his reply was no. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, like, what are you doing, Earl Spence? Like, I really feel like Earl Spence is starting. He's saying that he don't duck fighters. Can we dare I say that this has been a duck fight? Like, let's make the fight happen, man. People got to put more pressure on Earl Spence, man. I feel like it's too many dick riders, man, riding Earl Spence, man. You know what I mean? You got the Earl Spence fan base, and then they're just riding the shit out of his, you know what I mean, his Johnson, man. I mean, it's like, come on, dude. Get the fuck off of that joint and let him fight, Terence Crawford. That's what we want to see, man. We want to see the best fight the best. I mean, damn, man. What do we got to do to see the best fight the best, Expert Genius? What the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, expert. You're the expert, but, damn it. I want to see the fight, man. I really feel like both fighters are really good fighters, man. Shawn Porter did his thing, man. But at the end of the day, skills pay the bills. And Terence Crawford was not lacking in the skills department. He put on a show. He did what the fuck he needed to do. And I was proud of him. Salute to Shawn Porter. You know, but enough was enough, man. Kenny Porter seen enough. Smash that like button, you guys. Get these likes up. Armando! What's happening? Yeah. Armando says, great fight. Great fight. You already know, Armando, it was a great fight. But if you haven't, listen to what Earl Spence had to say. He says, what's up? What's up? What's up? Listen to what Earl Spence had to say if you're just joining. Here we go. Like I said, shout out to LA Setback.
I hope it happens.
Listen.
So, okay, so right now, Earl, big chances of you and Crawford. I'm excited.
What's the chance of you and Crawford fighting?
Do you think it was gonna happen?
It might. We'll see. As he walks forward in the interview and talks to fans after that. You know? That does not sound too enticing to me. You know, that does not sound too enticing. That does not sound like a fighter. I don't know. I don't see it, man. I don't see it, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, you know. But I just don't see that. I really don't see where Earl Spence, you know, looks like he really wants to fight this guy, man. You know, Kenny Porter, man, he stopped this fight too, man. Kenny Porter stopped this fight, man. Look. He said, what do you think about the fight? They said his daddy stopped it too early.
It looked the same. His daddy stopped it too early, though.
He said his dad stopped it too early.
His daddy stopped it too early, huh?
He said his daddy stopped it too early. D-Lo 404 Boxing. What's happening? Ice season, baby. Ice, baby. Woo! Like I told you guys, man. The shit goes down and I'm telling you, man. That's how this shit goes, man. And that's how this shit goes, man. Man, it's looking like, man, it's really. Man, it really looked like Shawn Porter did not want to, it looked like Shawn Porter wanted to finish that fight, y'all. Armando in the chat, shout out to Armando. He says, Kenny Porter is an asshole. Bro, he said he stopped the fight because he didn't prepare good and he wasn't listening to him and thinks he knows more than him and he wasn't prepared. I know that's crazy. You're the one that's preparing him, but you know, Shawn Porter might need to switch trainers, man. If Shawn Porter comes out of retirement, he needs to switch trainers, straight up. 1000%, man. But is Shawn Porter's head in it anymore? He's got the podcast that's successful. He's a really good analyst. Shawn Porter's a really good analyst. Does Shawn Porter really need to fight anymore? Does he want to fight anymore? He looked shocked when his dad stopped the fight. Dare I say he was going to fight Kenny Porter after the fight? Expert Genius says, I don't know what we can do to get these two fights each other. He says, Crawford already went to the WBC and was denied. Wow. Yeah, man, we got to see these two fights, man. D-Lo 404 Boxing says, salute. Salute to you, my brother. Welcome back. Armando in the chat says, yeah, his dad stopped it early. Porter wasn't hurt. He was fine. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't, Armando. I got to stop you right there. That's where we're going to disagree. When you just said, yes, his dad stopped it early. Yes, he did. But when you said Porter wasn't hurt, he was fine, that is false, my brother. That is false. Shawn Porter was fucking hurt, man. I'm sorry. That's just 100%. That is what it is. That's what's calling a spade a spade. Shawn Porter was hurt. Straight up. There's no two ways about it. Shawn Porter was definitely hurt. And that's what it was, man. That's what it was, man. You know, a lot of you guys are probably in the chat wanting to see Shawn Porter fight even more. Like I said, yes, his dad stopped the fight early. But what more could he have done? He was getting picked apart. And he was not looking like he was gonna rebound. Maybe he could have rebounded in the 11th round and got his energy back. But I just really feel like Shawn Porter's stamina and Shawn Porter's ceiling, like how good he was getting in the fight, was declining after the 6th round. Okay? Okay? Terence Crawford was rising. Shawn Porter was declining. That's the fact. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. Expert Genius says Spence fans need to hold him accountable, just like they did with Keith Thurman. Let's not hold no double standards. And that's true, man. It's so many Earl Spence D-riders out here, man. I mean, they're just riding that joint, man. Stop it. It's bad for your health. You know good and damn well you want to see Terence Crawford versus Earl Spence, but for whatever reason, Earl Spence has been winning. You've been supporting him, and you really don't think you really don't want to say your favorite fighter's ducking, but you see the shit right in your fucking face, man. You see it, dude. You see it, man. And you're not saying anything about it, man. You're not saying anything about it. They need to stop. They need to negotiate. Bob Arum and Al Heyman, just like in this fight, just like in the Shawn Porter versus Terence Crawford fight, it can go down the same way. I think this was a test fight to see how smooth this fight can be. And I think we're going to get this fight. I really think that we're going to get this fight, man. I really, truly think that we're going to get this fight, man. You know, the more I think about it, man, I really think that PBC maybe wanted to test out and see how, you know, how everything was going to work out. You know, was the money going to get paid right? Everything was going to work out. Was the audience going to look good? Was the things going to sell out? You know, what was going to be the first, you know, one of the first PBC versus Top Rank, you know, major showdowns in both major promotional companies? What was it going to be like? And I think the event was successful. Now, we don't know the pay-per-view numbers, but I really think that, you know, it's going to be, I really truly think that, you know, it's going to be a good, I think it's going to be a good, I think they'll do okay numbers. I don't think they're going to do 800,000, you know. For this fight, success would be 400,000. To me, I think if this fight did 400,000 pay-per-view buys, that's successful. Armando says they were 2 flash knockdowns, bro. No, they wasn't. No, there wasn't. Those were not 2 flash knockdowns. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Armando, you gotta, as a brother and as my friend, as a friend, as a friend of the show that's been watching this shit for a long time. Armando, you need to go rewatch that fight. And that was not 2 flash knockdowns. That was not 2 flash knockdowns. Shawn Porter got hurt. And Shawn Porter was hurt. And Kenny Porter seen that shit, man. He's with his son every single day, man. You don't think he knows when his son's hurt? That was not 2 flash knockdowns. I'm sorry. That was not 2 flash knockdowns, man. Hell no. Shawn Porter was hurt, and Shawn Porter was hurt for real. I'm sorry. Shawn Porter was hurt, man. I'm sorry. Shawn Porter was really hurt. He was really hurt. So you can go, hey, Armando, you can go ahead and take them 2 flash knockdowns, dude, and shove it, man. I'm just fucking with you, my brother. But, you know, look, man, let me read you guys this chat, man. He says, Armando says, there were 2 flash knockdowns, bro. He was mad at himself. He was hitting the ground hard as F. He got too aggressive when he got dropped and tried to get back and got caught again. Yes, but you got to understand, he was hitting the ground because he was getting hit. He could not stop that from getting hit. Terence Crawford was too skilled. He said in the post-fight interview, Armando, listen to me. He said in the Shawn Porter said in the post-fight interview, okay, that was the most that he had ever got hit, and that Terence Crawford was the best fighter he's ever been in the ring with. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he said. Expert Genius says nothing was flash about that first knockdown. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys, man. There was nothing flash about those 2 knockdowns, man. I'm sorry. There was nothing flash about those 2 knockdowns. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. The Expert Genius says there was nothing flash about the first knockdown. Porter was hurt. And it says he was still hurt on the second one. He says he was going down before he was hit. Yeah, man. You right about that, Expert Genius. Expert Genius, you are right. You were right about that. You are definitely right about that. So Armando, for you saying that those were 2 flash knockdowns, bro, I just really don't think, Armando, that those were 2 flash knockdowns. I think that, both fighters, showed, the courage, to keep going on even when Terence Crawford got cut, even when Terence Crawford was hurt, But the resilience and the dog in Terence Crawford kept him in that fight, man. I can't say enough about it, man. Kudos to Terence Crawford. He's a clean fighter from what we know. He's a very dangerous fighter, man. Kudos to Terence Crawford, man. He's a very dangerous fighter. And I think we will see the Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford fight. Errol Spence does not have no effing fight lined up next. I'm sorry, he does not. Unification, man. Unification, man. Unification. Armando says Porter was fully conscious of what was going on. He even took his time to get up. Kenny's ego stopped the fight. Or maybe he's very overprotective with Shawn too and just doesn't want to express that. I'm telling you, it was going to get worse, Armando. Listen, Armando, you can have all of these excuses for Shawn Porter. But the fact is that Shawn Porter was hurt, okay? And he did get knocked down 2 to 3 times, okay? And it was going to be a lot more than that if they let the fight go on. It was going to be a lot more than that. So the fight was stopped at a good time, I truly feel. I really, truly feel that the fight was stopped at a good time. I really, truly feel like that, man. Ian in the chat says Porter was mad because he couldn't get up. See what I'm saying? Smash that like button, y'all. Let's get these likes up. Can everybody stop what they're doing and hit the like button, please? That's all I ask you guys to do. That's the only thing I ask you guys to do. Can I please get that? Expert Genius, let me get the like. There's a couple of y'all that hit the like button yet. Let's get them likes up. Expert Genius says you can be fully conscious and still be hurt. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. He says, the Expert Genius says we might get Crawford versus Spence at 154. We might. We might. I'm not saying that we won't. But what I am saying is Terence Crawford did hurt Shawn Porter. And Terence Crawford deserves this win 100%, man. I don't want to take anything away from Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford won this fight fair and square, and he beat Shawn Porter, man. And I think it was just going to get worse. And if Shawn Porter would have made it to the 11th round, the 11th and 12th round of this professional fight, Shawn Porter versus Terence Crawford, it would have been Shawn Porter's worst 2 rounds of his career, dare I say. If this fight would have continued, listen to me. If this fight would have continued, dare I say that the 11th and the 12th round would have been one of the would have been the two worst rounds of Shawn Porter's career. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. 100% guaranteed. 100%, man. 100%. 100%, man. Expert Genius says we might get Crawford at versus Spence at 154. Yeah. It looked like Spence then outgrew the division, to be honest, man. I think Spence needs to move up, and I think Crawford definitely needs to move. I think everybody need to move to 154. If they both move up and we both get to fight at 154 for just one strap, I'm cool with it. Long as we get to fight, though. Armando says, I got to rewatch that. Maybe Porter was buzzed, but his legs were still there. He wasn't hurt for the fight to be stopped, though. You got to look, Armando. I've done the same thing, man, but it takes years of studying a fighter and knowing when to throw in the fight, man, and when to throw in the towel, excuse me. This guy, Kenny Porter, is around Shawn Porter, Armando, every single day, dare I say, in training camp. Every day. He sees when his son spars. He sees when his son gets hurt in sparring, okay? He knows when his son's hurt, okay? And when you got all that firepower where Terence Crawford looked like he was just coming on, dude. Terence Crawford looked like he was just coming on, man. And he was ready to light that up, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you what I know, you guys. I'm being honest with you guys, man. But no, there was nothing flash about those knockdowns. D-Lo 404 Boxing says Shawn was pretty messed up when he got dropped. See what I'm saying? Bud was starting to run downhill on him. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Terence Crawford was coming on. Shawn Porter wasn't. Period, man. Samuel says, Crawford's petition to the WBC to fight to Spence next. He needs to, man. It's effed up that they got to go through all of this. It's effed up that they got to go through all of this to fight Spence versus Crawford. It's effed up that it's got to come to this. It's effed up, man. It really is, man. But it was a very close fight, man. Very close fight. Armando in the chat says, I'm not making excuses for Porter. I actually picked Crawford in the 11th round. I was one round off. Wow. But Shawn wasn't hurt for the fight to be stopped, in my opinion. So Armando's in the chat saying, y'all, he's saying that Shawn wasn't hurt for the fight to be stopped, in my opinion. What do you guys got to say to that in the chat? Armando says, shout out to Bond in the chat. He says, Armando Cologne, salute. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. He says, Armando in the chat, y'all. Smash that like button. As soon as y'all guys come in here, smash that like button. Armando in the chat says, but Shawn wasn't hurt for the fight to be stopped, in my opinion. I think you're 100% wrong. I think you're 100% wrong on that one, Armando. I'm just being honest, man. But I mean, look, man, you're entitled to anything. You're entitled to your statements. But I really, truly think that, Shawn was hurt, man. Shawn was definitely hurt, man. D-Lo 404 says Shawn was getting caught with everything at that point. That's what I'm saying, bro. Shawn, at that point in the fight, at the 10th round, Shawn Porter was getting hit with everything but the fucking kitchen sink. I mean, the guy was getting hit with everything. Flush. Yeah, Ian Campbell says Crawford was teeing off at that point. Armando says, but Shawn wasn't hurt for the fight to be stopped, in my opinion. I mean, like, come on. What more do you want this guy to do, man, to be hurt? I mean, the guy got knocked down 2 times in a row. This wasn't even just one time in a row. It was 2 times in a row. Smash that like button as soon as you guys come in here. Let's get these likes up, y'all. Smash that like button. But like I said, man, Shawn Porter was hurt and buzzed, and the fight got stopped. I feel like at the right time. What more do you want from this guy, Shawn Porter? They already said both of his eyes. This guy, Andre Ward said Shawn Porter has been cut 11 times on that same eye where that big ass gash was at. Did you think it was gonna get any better after that? As soon as Shawn Porter, and the way that Shawn Porter got cut, it was his fault. He headbutted Terence Crawford and pulled him in with his arm, and they headbutted each other. So you cannot say, we cannot, and I know, Armando, you said you're not making excuses for him, but we cannot make these excuses for him, man. And I'm not saying you are, but I'm just saying. Bond says Shawn Porter had a great career. Yes, he did, man. Yes, he did. Porter fought damn near all of the 147 fighters. Yes, he did, man. Yes, he did. He surely did, man. D-Lo 404 Boxing says, I disagree wholeheartedly, but I respect his opinion. See what I'm saying? They disagree with what you're saying, Armando, but they respect your opinion. Bond says Earl Spence was in the crowd. He left as soon as Crawford won his fight. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. Like he left he evacuated, dude. Soon as he was on a beeline to the exit doors, dude. And I don't know how Ellie Setback caught him, man, but he was on the only interviews to catch him leaving. This dude. PBC is probably going to try to pitch Danny Garcia next. No, I think Danny Garcia's got a good career at 154. Not a good career, but I think he's got a good, maybe 1 or 2 fights at 154. Not career though. Smash that like button. Danny Garcia's moving up to 154. He's looking at fighting one of the Charlo twins, which I think he could possibly beat one of the Charlo twins if trained correctly. We'll see though. We'll see. And he's got to have power at 154. All of those things, we'll see. Ian Campbell says Crawford had thuds. Yeah, his punches were thudding, man. He was putting some heat on them on them shots, man. D-Lo 404 Boxing says Shawn pretty much acknowledged that Bud was separating himself. He said Shawn was pretty much acknowledged that Bud was separating himself as the dominant fighter at that point. No, that's what D-Lo 404 Boxing, D-Lo, that's what Kenny Porter was saying. He was saying, look, my son's getting teed off on right now. I want to see him live a long, healthy life. I am the father of my son right here. And the guy Kenny Porter loves his son, man. For him to see that and for him to stop the fight, I really truly feel like, look, we would have all wanted to see the fight go on more. But when you get knocked down twice, back to back like that, well, like, what more do you want? You want the guy, you want something crazy to happen in the ring? You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, what more did you want? Bond in the chat says, Crawford showed more dominant performance compared to when Earl Spence fought Porter. Yeah, and if you want to do the comparing judgment, Shawn Porter versus Earl Spence, Shawn Porter versus Terence Crawford looked better. Terence Crawford looked better at beating Shawn Porter than Earl Spence did. That's a fact. 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 Shawn Porter did not look as good as he did in the Earl Spence. Some people thought Shawn Porter won the Earl Spence fight. Nobody thinks Shawn Porter won the Terence Crawford fight. He didn't. He's got stopped. Ice season. Ice season. Like I told you guys. Ice season. Ian says Porter didn't have power to keep Crawford off of him. Yeah. Bond says Crawford showed more dominant performance compared to when Earl Spence fought him. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He surely did, man. He surely did, man. You know, Earl Spence, dare I say that Shawn Porter looked better? I mean, excuse me. Terence Crawford looked better at beating Shawn Porter than Earl Spence. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Just straight up, straight down the middle, man. I'm not D-riding any fighter out here, man. Straight up, man. Straight up. I'm not D-riding any fighter. Yes, Corey Lee has his favorite fighters, but let's be honest, man. You know, I gotta call a spade, you know. Crawford looked better at beating Shawn Porter than Earl Spence did. That's just a spade a spade. That's just calling it what it is. You know. 2G's up. What's happening? He says he little board Porter. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. 2G's up. Let's get them likes up. 2G's up. What's happening, man? 2G's up. What's happening? Can you catch my comment at 348? Let me go back and get that joint for you, my brother. No problem. I disagree wholeheartedly, but I respect his opinion. D-Lo 404 Boxing says, after that second knockdown, Shawn did everything except get up and walk to the ref to show he was ready to go. Yeah. 100% agree with you on that one, D-Lo 404. 100% agree with you on that one, D-Lo 404. 100%, my brother. 100%. He should have. Instead of putting his fucking hands on the ground, pounding his hands on the ground, and being mad at himself for getting flushed again by Terence Crawford and almost using all of the time up. All of that stuff looks bad because Kenny Porter's like, damn, is my son second guessing himself? What's going through my son's head right now? He doesn't look good. I'm already thinking about stopping it from the first knockdown, and then you see the second knockdown. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on now. Expert Jen says Spence looked disappointed when Bud won. I mean, you got to understand, man. Terence Crawford looked fucking amazing tonight, man. I mean, yeah, he got hit, with more than, people would think he gave it. But what do you expect? Shawn Porter is not no fucking pushover, man. Shawn Porter beat Danny Garcia, man. A undefeated Danny Garcia, I believe. So come on, man. And that was just a year, 2 years ago? So I mean, come on, man. And that was one of Shawn Porter's probably better performances. Shawn Porter had. Come on, Carmen. We ain't gonna do the gay weather stuff in here, man. We ain't doing all that in here, man. Come on, man. Hold on. Where my moderators at, man? What is Carmen talking about, man? Come on, man. Carmen. Stop it, man. What you talking about? Y'all gotta put him in timeout, expert genius. The fuck? Put his ass in timeout, man. That's the fuck y'all got them wrenches for, man. Put his motherfucking ass in timeout. Get his ass out of here. Put his ass in timeout. Smash him. Smash that motherfucker. We don't do none of that greasy talking in here, man. None of that negative dumb shit. Get out of here. I don't know the fuck you talking about in Spanish. Speak that dumb shit in English, motherfucker. Speak that shit in English. We don't play that dumb shit over here. But Chad, Armando says, bro, Porter took his time to get up, man. Oh yeah, and for everybody that's watching this live stream, me and DC Mike will be going live tomorrow at about 2 o'clock p.m. About 2 to 3 o'clock p.m. Between 2 and 3 p.m., me and DC Mike will be going live tomorrow, y'all. I just want to throw that out there. Okay? Just so you guys know. Smash that like button, y'all. Let me go down there. Let me go see what the chat talking about. No racism in here, bro. Fuck no. Get him out of here. Dude might get banned. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. I couldn't understand that Spanish shit. Tomorrow's show. Hold on. Sunday show. DC Mike and Corey Lee boxing. Yes, sir. Make sure y'all know that. Expert Genius says, all right, bet. Yeah, I just want to throw that out there, y'all, before y'all, you know, I just want to throw that out there, y'all. We will be having the Sunday show, y'all. You know. Bond in the chat says, Pope Leonard Ellaby should make Tank fight Devin Haney. Yeah, he should. Yeah, he should. Yeah, he should, man. Armando says, bro, Porter took his time to get up, man. That's the right thing to do. He says he know what he was going. He said he know what he was going on. I guess you meant to say was going on. He got up right at 9. He took his time. He says that's smart thing to do. Laugh out loud. If you get up too fast, that's bad. Yes, I understand that, Armando. But what you're not understanding is Shawn Porter was really hurt, man. Okay? Shawn Porter was hurt. This was not no gimmick knockdown. This was not no flash knockdown, like you said. You said earlier that Shawn Porter was not hurt. It was two flash knockdowns. And what you're not understanding, Armando, is that Shawn Porter was hurt. And Shawn Porter did get hurt. Okay? I'm just being honest, my brother. I'm just being honest, man. Shawn Porter was hurt. You know? Shawn Porter was hurt, man. And moving on, man. You guys got to understand, man. Armando says Porter had a big lead in the early half of the fight, though. It says he was up 4-1 in the first 5, but Crawford got his rhythm in 6 and up. But Porter he says he was still in those rounds. Great fight. Yes, but you got to understand. In 7, 8, and 9, Terence Crawford implemented, him and Bomac implemented one of the best game plans, man. And he pushed the gas, okay, and pressure bust pipes, man. I don't care what you guys say. Pressure bust pipes. And Shawn Porter was under immense pressure. I mean, the guy was getting teed off on from every freaking angle, man. I mean, what more did you want this guy to do, man? Kenny Porter threw in the towel. Kenny Porter threw in the towel because he seen his son getting hurt. He seen his son getting teed off for, dare I say, never before seen. You know? This might be the, how can I put this? This might be the most worst ass whooping that Shawn Porter's that's ever gotten, man. In 7, 8, and 9, and especially 10. Shit, dare I say round number 10 was Shawn Porter's worst round of his career? Dare I say that? Dare I say that, man? Corey Lee Boxing is stating big facts right now. Big facts right now. Do you guys agree? Was Shawn Porter, listen to this. Was Shawn Porter's round 10 versus Terence Crawford, was that the worst round of his career? For all you guys that's saying that Terence Crawford doesn't have power, Terence Crawford doesn't have this, what was he going to do against a real welterweight? We just seen that. Romanian Mike, what's happening, bro? What's going on, man? Andre in the chat, what's happening? What's happening, Andre? What's going on, my brother? How you doing, man? How everybody doing? 2G's up says, he says they was saying Shawn didn't take training serious like he normally does. Yeah, but that's Kenny Porter saying that dumb shit. That's Kenny Porter saying it because Shawn Porter didn't do exactly what Kenny Porter wanted him to do every step of the second of the way, man. And maybe Kenny Porter did have a better game plan than from Shawn Porter, but it's different when you're in that motherfucker, man. Excuse me. It's different when you're in there, man. It's different, man. Ian Campbell says Spence walked out like I'm going across the street. He sure did. 2G's up. Crawford's long reach helped him a lot. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did, man. Yes, it did. Romanian Mike says, I'm going to cut the live stream at an hour, y'all. I got 5 more minutes on this live stream. Let me know all of the questions you guys want. I'm cutting the live stream off at 1 hour. I'm letting you guys know that now. Romanian Mike, Shawn Porter got iced. So this is the 5-minute countdown. Shawn Porter got iced. Romanian Mike says, big facts. See? Thank you. I mean, I guess you guys agree with what I was saying. That 10th round was Shawn Porter's worst round of his career. Hands down. And we will be going live tomorrow at Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Corey Lee Boxing, 3 p.m. Eastern. Live stream, baby. Be here, be square. Be here, be square, dude. Ice season, baby. Ice, baby. Let's go. Romanian Mike says Porter too short. He says I walked behind him once at Sam's Town going to a fight. He was like hella short. Yeah, he is, man. But he's got power too. He's got power too, man. He's got power too, man. He's got power too. Andre in the chat said that boy a problem. Yes, he is, man. Yes, he is, man. Terence Crawford looked hella good tonight, y'all. Terence Crawford looked hella good. I liked everything I seen out of Terence Crawford. Not everything, but mostly everything. But you got to understand, Shawn Porter was going to have his moments in this fight. How was Terence Crawford going to get Shawn Porter tired? Let him keep throwing. Let him keep throwing. Let him keep doing all that bouncing around the ring that tires you the F out. Some of that bouncing around the ring, Shawn Porter did not need to do. It wasn't strategically, it wasn't accurate enough, man, in my personal opinion. You were bouncing around using unnecessary strength and stamina for what? Some of those bouncing around things he was doing, he wasn't even swinging. He was just bouncing around in the ring, walking around the ring, bouncing around. Keep your feet, and because look, Terence Crawford wasn't pressuring him enough where it was like, damn, he's smothering his work. I mean, it was a calculated effort, man. It was a calculated effort, man. Let me read you guys the last chats in here, man. Sunday, 3 p.m., y'all. I'm letting you guys know that now. 3 p.m. Eastern time, Sunday. Expert Jen says, and Bud had the look in his eyes waiting for Porter to get back up. And yes, it was the worst round of his career. Yup, see? Andre says, in all Porter's losses, he makes the same mistake. Bud exposed it. That was an ass whooping. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, Andre. Andre says, Bud made it clear to Bob he's leaving Bob. Hey, I think Terence Crawford should do what the fuck Canelo Alvarez is doing. That means he'll get more fights. You won't have this big ass, guy like Bob Arum holding you back from, getting all the fights you want. And, we're going to see. I think, Bud leaving Bob Arum is a good thing. Armando says, aside from the Porter stoppage, because that was Kenny's decision, we had a lot of early stoppages today. Yeah, we're going to talk more about the rest of the fights that happened on the card later today on the Sunday show. Me and DC Mike, if you guys haven't, go check them out. We're going to be doing the show Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. He says, terrible stoppages. Also, terrible decision tonight, too. 3 p.m. Sunday, y'all. Don't forget it. 2G's Up says, you think any of the champs will fight Jaron Ennis next? I think Terence Crawford should. But we might not see that. That might, people be like, whoa, who the hell is he? I think Virgil Ortiz versus Jaron Ennis should fight next. But we probably won't see that fight till later. 2G's Up says, you think it, Dago 619, what's happening? He said, I called it, Bud. Porter stopped. He says, I would have loved to see Porter versus Pacquiao. That would have been a war. Ian Campbell says, if Bud can't get Spence, he says he should try to get you guys. What you think? Yeah, you guys are still out there with the belt. Bond says Tank is even shorter than Porter. Tank like a goblin. Yeah, man, but Tank got that fucking power, man. Put you down, dude. And he's got the skill. 2G's up says Shawn actually showed me he can box. Yes, he did. He did 2G's up. Yes, he did, man. Versus Spence. I didn't know what he was doing tonight. Thank you guys so much, man. Corey needs some gear. Hey, man, thank you guys so much, man, for everything, man. And he says, need Christmas sweaters or some gear. Check out eBay store. Okay, thanks, man. Thank you guys so much. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Excuse me, later today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, quarterly boxing, baby. And you've just been hit with another banger. Ice season, baby. Peace out, y'all. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't subscribed, man, thank you guys, man. Thank you guys so much, man. Thank you guys, man. Appreciate that, man. Thank you.